And the one that hit me actually, and I'm glad that I can now say to you, just me and you, with the fans obviously. The birthday thing, I felt like, oh, that was hard. Can't we celebrate our birthdays? Life is hard, man.
Immediately when you are able to say yes or no, you are a man, because you are already making a decision on your own.
If I choose to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym every single day, and you sleep and you tell me 5 a.m. is too early,
So does that make me less of a man?
it doesn't make you less of a man. It's just not, it's just, in my definition, it just doesn't put you in the same category as me.
That's deep.
Disclaimer, this podcast is all about real conversations. Raw, authentic, and unscripted. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in raw conversations are solely those of the host and the guests. If you're struggling, please reach out to someone qualified. And remember, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Welcome to the circle. Let's keep it raw, real, and respectful. Welcome to Raw Conversations with Herald Kavuala. Today I'm joined by my brother, my biological brother, just in case people are wondering. And if you guys saw my a few episodes back, I think it was something along the lines of a man. Obviously, my whole podcast is about men. But I dropped a few videos a few weeks back, and somebody came into the comment section and says, no, we want receipts on how you treat your loved ones. Well, here's one of my loved ones. This is, I guess, receipts. Yeah. That I still have my loved ones with me, and if I'm treating them bad or if they were disagreeing with me, I guess it is what it is. But today, it's all part of the vision of bringing other men onto my platform. So today I got my brother to start off with the platform, and today we're just going to share our different views of what makes a man in today's society. Obviously, I have my perspective on what makes a man, on what defines a man based off the experiences I've gone through in life. My brother also has his experiences of what defines a man based on what he's gone through in his life. As every other man in this world, we all define men differently. So today we're just going to share our thoughts, man, on what we define as men based into the society, and as well as whether we agree with what society defines a man to be. And yeah, you have anything to say, Machi?
Yeah, it's basically that. First of all, I'm actual receipt proof of how this man over here treats men.
Treats his loved ones.
Oh, treats his loved ones. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I watch his podcast, by the way. You know, and not just because I'm his brother, but because I am a man and information is key. It's important at any stage of everyone's life. But what even motivated me to hit him up and be like, I actually want to come on the next podcast if you're still going to be talking about men, because not that I have answers to what a man should be or what is a perfect man, or not even to validate that he's the perfect man and that's why he's right to stand and talk to us about being a man. It's nothing about that. It's just that I, as a man, coming from another man, I can relate. So I understand that, okay, this is a safe space for me as a man to come through and, you know, express that, hey, it's true. Most of what you spoke, in particular, the podcast that you had, most of the things that you mentioned is actually, it's fundamental. It's basic for us as men. I mean, we're not going to now allow that there should be a question to who a man should be. I don't think a man is made or a man is taught to be a man. You're either born a man or you're born a woman.
Okay,
it's
so
as simple as that.
According to you, what's your definition of a man? What would you define as a man?
I'll start off first on what is seen. Like the first impression of a man. It's a human being who has a penis and not a vagina.
Okay, that's biological.
So the doctor, I believe that's the first thing they look for when they determine if this child is a boy or a girl. They check in between the legs.
Yeah, but there's gender. You see, that's a boy or a girl. Now let's go to the element of a man. Like,
as a personality.
Let's pick up people from the ages of 25 above. Everyone at 25 and down, from my point of view, you can disagree if you disagree with this. I think anyone from 25 and below is still finding who they are in life. They don't have a grasp yet on where they're going or who they want to become and stuff like that below the age of 25. From 25 onwards, I believe you should know what you want in life. You should know where you're going with your life.
Yeah.
And if you don't know as yet, then you are lacking some sort of identity or some sort of direction. So from the age of 25 going up, you are over 25, right? You're pushing close to 30 now. So at least can say you had a few years over the age of 25. From your experience as someone who's becoming a man, what can you say? What defines you as a man? What would you say makes you a man?
Okay, so what makes me a man is basically, I'd say, the decisions I've made. Because I like how you mentioned that being born with a dick is more of a gender thing than being an actual man. And there is a saying that says men are just big boys. So the boy lives on. But once I start making decisions for my life that I'm not lived with, that kind of brings out the man in me. Mm-hmm. That's why even at an older age, I'm still a boy, just a big boy. But the decisions that I've made have brought that manhood about me. Yeah, that's basically me, my definition of a man.
So the decisions you make in life is what defines you as a man.
Yeah.
So would you say settling down, getting married, having kids makes you a man?
Not necessarily, but taking care of your wife when you do decide to get married and taking care of your children when you do decide to get married, that's what makes you a man, because we have men getting married and divorcing and it just becomes repetitive. So that's just boy behavior. Your gender makes you a boy, so it doesn't necessarily make you a man. But once you decide and you hold to your decisions for life, I think that's what brings a man about you.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. If you have questions, ask.
Yeah.
I don't want this thing to be like it's me. I'm just asking you questions all the way.
I actually have questions
also,
for you.
Just FYI, for the fans that are watching right now, I actually have another guy on set that I'm also going to bring up towards the end if he's willing to come. And then they can probably just give a line or two on what he also defines as a man. Like I said, my podcast is still growing. So currently I only have 2 mics, hence it's just me and him. But like I said, if you guys can subscribe, like, and comment, it does allow the channel to grow and I can actually buy more mics and actually have more men on this platform who can share their experience and share their thoughts and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you going to ask?
So I've heard your podcast talking about how a man should behave. And the one that hit me actually, and I'm glad that I can now say to you, just me and you, with the fans obviously, the birthday thing, I felt like, oh, that was hard. Can't we celebrate our birthdays? Life is hard, man. We go through, it's like that day is the only day when you actually just get to let down your guard as a man and be like, you know what? If I want to go and buy pizza, let me just do that and not care about being broke because I won't be able to take my hand out this weekend. No, that day is literally that day. But then you did mention some points that hit me. You said, why are you celebrating your birthday if the last year you haven't achieved anything that's worth celebrating? That was, and even now it rings into my head. But then let me ask you, I think that will sum up my question marks. What is a man to you?
So then you asked me about the birthday. I mean, ask about the man. Okay, let me answer both. Let me start first with the birthday thing.
Okay,
then
cool.
I'll come to the man. Okay, so the same question you're asking, there's a friend of mine, Delight, shout out to Delight side of life. He also came to my comment section and saying something along the very same lines you were asking. Yeah. Why can we not celebrate our birthday? I think he was saying along the lines of saying that, but birthdays are something to be celebrated because you are a year older and all that stuff. And then my response to him was, if that is the case, that you celebrate your birthday because you are a year older, then technically you should also be able to celebrate your birthday on every single day, because every single day you are technically a day older.
Yeah.
You know? So when you're celebrating a year older, what that tells me is that you are simply celebrating the earth rotating around the world. The earth rotating, doing a full rotation around the sun. Because that's how a year is defined. A year is defined by the full rotation of the earth around the sun. So to me, that's all you're technically celebrating, because every single day you are a day older. So why not celebrate every single day? If you're only going to wait for your date birth, the day you were born, whether 16, whatever the case is, it makes no sense to me. Because all the other 364 days, is 365 days a year, right?
Except on leap year.
Except on a leap year. Yeah. So all the other 364 days, 65 you grew older. Yeah, every single day we are maturing. Every single day we are learning something new. So why only on that particular day because that's the day you came to the earth. There's nothing special about that day. It's a day we thank God, say, Lord, thank you so much for bringing me on this particular earth. But other than that, when you're born, did the sun shine brighter? No.
Not at all.
So if you're going to complain about, no, I want to celebrate my birthday, I'm not saying don't. All I'm saying is that don't waste your money throwing parties that aren't earned. That's all I'm saying. Don't waste your money throwing parties. I'd rather look, if my birthday is tomorrow, someone gives me 10K, I'm not going to go to the club. I'm going to invest in my podcast and grow my podcast. Because I'm not where I want to be in life as yet. Mm-hmm. And until I can get to that point in life, birthdays can hold up. I'm going to throw my son a birthday. That's for sure. Until he gets older, and then he can also make his own decisions. But until then, so I'm not against birthdays. Yeah. So now, according to me, what makes a man? What makes a man, to me, is how you handle life's trials and tribulations. That's what separates the man from the boys. Like you said, we are big boys.
Yes, big boys.
The trials and tribulations is what separates men from the boys. If you come in a corner where it's like, look, you have the choice to, back to the parties, you have a choice to go to a party or go to a seminar where they're speaking about growing wealth, for instance, right? If you choose to go to a party, that says something about you. If you choose to go to a seminar about growth, that also says something about you. So that's what differentiates the men from the boys. If I choose to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym every single day and you sleep and you tell me 5 a.m. is too early.
So does that make me less of a man?
It doesn't make you less of a man. It's just in my definition, it just doesn't put you in the same category as me.
That's deep. In terms of what, like now we have categories of men.
No, but there are categories of men. Look, let's not deny.
What you mean, like the alpha male? And
I was about to say, let's not deny the fact that we have alpha males, we have beta males, we have stigma males. Let's not deny that.
Yeah, that's
not all of us as men can be leaders. I'm sorry, but that's the honest truth. Not all of us men can be leaders.
To some degree.
Not even to some degree. You can be the leader of your household.
Yeah.
You can be the leader of your wife, your kids, and whatever business you choose to start. But if me as a businessman, you as a businessman, my friend Evie as a businessman, JD as a businessman, all of us come together, there's going to be one of us that will stand out amongst all of us.
Yes, yeah.
Like it or not.
But then that doesn't cancel out that every man has that leadership trait in him.
No, it doesn't cancel it out. But again, like I said, different categories of leadership. If you put Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve, Warren Buffett, all of the guys in one meeting, someone's going to stand out, all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And in today's society, that will be your alpha male. It doesn't technically make Steve Jobs and other guys better males. It doesn't technically mean that. It just means at that particular time, whoever tends to be the one that's superior, that's why in the animal kingdom, when gorillas meet each other as male, it's like
they always show dominance.
Who's the stronger one? So it's always going to be there whether we like it or not. And that's not my definition of man. It's how we handle situations, how we handle trials and tribulations. I can wake up at 5 a.m., you can complain and say, no, it's too early for me. Hey, that's your choice. But then when it comes to someone abusing my wife, I've got better chances of being able to defend her compared to you because you don't train, you sleep. I'm just saying.
Okay, what if I sleep, but then I do work, like maybe I'm a construction worker. So maybe I sleep and then at like 7 I'm up and I'm working till even 19 hours of the day. Now for you, it might be too much work hours, but you go to gym. So then how would you say you are a better male than me? Because you wake up earlier, but I work longer hours and do hard work. Maybe you work at the call center, but you just go to the gym. You see?
Okay, I get what you're saying. Now that now comes down to what you want in life. I get, like I say, all of us as men, it all comes down to what we want in life, right? Again, it comes down to whole beta and alpha male, right? If you're going to make the excuse to say, I work construction, okay, let me not say excuse. If you work construction every single day, because that's not something I look down upon. I actually admire people that actually do construction work. And I believe every man should be able to do hard labor. Whether you're an accountant, whether you are a businessman, whatever, every man should be able to do hard labor. I strongly encourage that. But now to get to what we're saying, if you say you do construction all day and then when you're done, you go sleeping, right? My question to be is, what are you doing investing in your own personal self? Is that construction you're doing, is that for someone else, or is that for yourself?
Considering that construction work has a benefit of physical activity, just like gymming, construction work is pretty much the same. It's just that now it's not necessarily planned like how you do in the gym. You start on the treadmill and you go. Construction work, there is no easy work, like how we say in construction side. There is no easy work. So everything literally requires your physical effort. So you find construction guys who are built. You think he's going to the gym, but it's just his job. So like someone like that, it's not so necessary for him to still go back to the gym after. But
well, I mean,
he can actually rest.
The point is not really about the gym. The point is about you investing in yourself. Remember, the gym is not about being strong. The gym is about you investing in yourself.
Okay, yeah.
You investing in your health. You investing in your well-being. You investing on being able to walk with your back straight at the age of 60, at the age of 65.
Yeah.
That's what the gym is for. The gym is not exactly for your physical. So there are people that gym and that don't look like bodybuilders. I gym and I don't look like bodybuilders. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point of gymming, it's more of an investment in yourself. That's why I asked you, when you finish your construction and you go home, what did you do for yourself? Remember, a gym is self-sacrifice. I don't get paid to go to the gym, but I get paid to go construction work. You know? So what do you do after that? For me, I feel like that's also something that every man should be able to do. We all have 9-to-5s. Sharp as a construction worker, you are doing hard labor, you're lifting bricks and you're doing that stuff. But I can say the same thing about an accountant who has to sit down there and crash numbers. Because by the time he gets home, you might have grown in physical muscle, he's grown in brain muscle or whatever muscle you can say, mental. So he's gone smarter. At the end of the day, both of you guys have grown. But then
and that can be considered an investment also, though not.
Yeah, but that's an investment in someone else's dream. What are you doing for yourself? If that accounting you're doing is your accounting firm, Sharp, that's your accounting firm. If the construction you're doing is your construction company, it's your construction company. But then if you're doing it for someone else, what are you doing for yourself? Because the moment you get laid off from that work, what do you have to fall back on? Because now that's when now your wife's gonna come to you and say, baby, what must happen now?
Yeah.
That's when now your kids come to you and say, Daddy, how much school fees is gonna get paid? And then at that point in time now, that's when the man in you has to show. What decisions are you going to make? Had you been a proactive man, by the time that time comes, like, you know what, babe, I've at least been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 while doing my 9-to-5, I can fall back on that. But then if you're just working on I don't want to say the white man, but if you're just working for the man, when that man lets you go, what's your backup plan? Because as a man, you have to have a backup plan. You can't live off based off the wind. Wherever the wind takes you, you go. You can't live just depending on your boss saying, every single month I get a salary. Sharp, I'm not against having a 9-to-5 job. I have a 9-to-5 job. But outside of that, what else are you doing for yourself?
Of which, obviously, these things, it doesn't make you a man. It's just, I think, supplementaries for...
Look, it sets you apart from... It sets you apart from the rest of the other men.
Okay.
It sets you apart from the rest of other men. Look, in this room, we are all men, but we don't all think the same.
Facts.
We don't all think the same. We can all be given the same task, but we will all respond to the same task differently. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we'll be like, hey man, Phares' answer was smarter. That sets you apart from the rest of us.
Yeah.
It does not speak less of us. It doesn't disqualify us as men, but it just simply says you are ahead of us, and we should maybe consider looking at how you
take motivation from that. Yeah,
take notes. I'm not saying that because you're not able to, and this is with regards to my previous episode, because I also got attacked on that. I'm not saying that because as a man you can't handle tough time doesn't make you less of a man. That's not what I'm saying.
Be different.
All I'm saying is that as a man, when that tough time comes,
it's a decision.
At least be able to find a solution. At least be able to come to a point where you can say, you know what, I know how to resolve it. So you and where you are right now in life, you are a civil engineer by profession. In your career, in your field, what can you say has helped you in terms of your self-identity as a man? Because now, as in your field, majority of them are men. So on a basis, you are working with other men. And you can see how their thought process is. You can see how they react to responsibilities, to duties. You can see how they react. And I know AV as well as working in this field as well, so he can also relate to that at some point. How have you been able to identify yourself as a man working amongst other men doing the same thing as you?
That's actually a good question, because while I was working in the industry, you realize that even if you thought you were manly as anyone could think, but when you get there, that's when you see that being a man is not so much about what people see about you, but why you do what you do. Because, you'd work and you'd see some guys, laborers. Obviously, we have a tendency to consider the guys who do the labor work, like the actual builder, as like less as compared to the side agent. But no, it's a job. We're all getting paid. But then you'll find that from these laborers, this total humility. A guy could come to work every day on time and probably leaves last, and he works hard, and he wouldn't talk much. But then the moment you go talk to him, and then you find out that this guy is probably taking care of his grandmom, his father, and then he's got his wife and his kids, and he's working so hard. And then you even feel that, this guy is actually more of a man than I am, even though I could be driving and he's still taking taxis. I could be looking muscular and he's looking slim, but the heart in him, like why he does what he does, when you find out that's when you realize that. So being a man is not so much about what people see, what you show people, but why you do what you do. It really, it gives even that value of a man. When you talk to a man like this and you find that this guy's working so hard and he's taking care of so many people, it's like, when does he have time for himself? Then you realize that, you even feel that, this is a man. You just feel like you have to give him that credit. So that has really changed even my perspective on myself. I don't tell myself I'm a man. I know I'm a man. I just need to do things right, make the right decisions, put my mind where it should be, think right. Then I don't need anyone to tell me anymore that I'm a man or not, because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So,
okay. So before I let you go and I invite AV for a very short period of time, because I don't like keeping my episodes long. We're already over 20 minutes. Based on what you just said right now, I want to see if you agree or disagree with what I'm about to ask you. Would you say, based on what you just said now, think about this? Because me, I know the answer. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
So there's a wrong answer?
From my point of view, yes.
Okay.
Based on what you just said now, status, symbol, and power, does that make a man?
No. I don't want to answer this question. I feel like I need to think about it more. Because power definitely is associated with manhood, whether we like it or not. Authority and power, I believe they are very much related. So if you're going to have authority over anything at all, of which a man should have that. A man, you can't go, like, I'm sorry to say, but you can't go amongst women and then people can't tell that there's a man amongst you. Then where's that man? I mean, a man should be seen amongst women. That's how we know a man from a woman. So power, that's power, I believe, which is also related with authority. So it's confusing. I don't know. And
so you're not saying that yes or no?
I can only make a remark on that now that you mentioned it. And since you are also a religious person and you don't mind sharing some information on that, I think...
It's just me, Papa. Let me say I'm religious. I'm a Christian to the core.
Okay, me too. That's me too.
I'm a Christian to the core.
Yeah. So I believe even like the fact that today we should even question and ask who is a man, I don't think that should ever be a question, because a man is born. You're born that way. It's a nature. It's just like a tree. You can't ask what is a tree or what is a sun or what is a moon. But
also, let's not forget it. It's like before you're a butterfly, you're a caterpillar.
But that's a special case, because a lion cub is born a lion cub.
Yeah, but you're a lion cub.
Yeah.
Then you're a lion.
I mean, for us,
when the lion is born, the lion doesn't roar. At least not like the father.
Yes.
It doesn't roar and grab attention because it's a cub. When we are born boys.
Yes.
We know nothing about decisions. We know nothing about the real life you're going to face in the next 20 years. We become a man, from my point of view, once you leave your father's house and you start making decisions by yourself. That's when you become a man.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. You're right. 100%. And that's why with that, I have the idea that today's society, as religious people, we, as men especially, we should be very aware, because it seems like the manhood is becoming a questionable nature. And we know that in terms of our Christianity, we know that after God it's man, after man it's his wife, and then family. So now, if we who are the direct link with God, we get to a point whereby we question our manhood, like what is a man? So how would we still have communion with God?
And I think I get what you're trying to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking now you're trying to compare society's definition of a man with the biblical definition of a man,
basically.
Because in society's time now, a man is allowed to be soft, a man is allowed to be this particular thing.
A man is equal to a woman.
A man is equal to a woman.
You see,
a man and a woman in terms of marriage are partners, and then according to biblical terms, the Bible is not really for everything that society says. No, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. But then that's another topic. And I think on the next episode, I'll see whether I'll do it by myself or I'll try to find another guest where we'll compare the biblical definition of a man against society's definition of a man.
Yeah, that's very important, because today it's corrupt.
Yeah.
It's corrupt.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I think that's going to be the next episode.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, as you pack and you leave, you don't even mute your mic. As you pack and leave, I'm going to ask Evie to please step in. I'm already over 25 minutes. I'm not going to make it. Come in. Come in, Papa. Jay, you have to come in also.
Okay. I'm sweating.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. So this is my homeboy Evie. As I said earlier on, I'm gonna bring him on just to. It's not gonna be on that long because he's not prepared for today. So, but now that I have him here, I just want him to also give us his definition of, and his based off his experience and knowledge of what defines a man in today's society.
I go by the name called Evie. Hey guys, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. It's my first time being here, so.
Thank you for coming, man.
I'm also nervous, but I'm very grateful to be here. First and foremost, thank Hashem for allowing me to sit on this chair. What defines me as a man is immediately when you are able to say yes or no, you are a man, because you are already making a decision on your own. You are able to stand on your own. There's immediately when your parents say you are now able to be independent. Immediately when you become independent, you are already a man. Because I cannot come and tell you what to do without you yourself confirming yes or no. So that's my understanding of becoming a man, and yeah. That's basically my understanding.
Actually, I like the simplicity of the answer. Like, yes, once you're able to say yes or no. And I gotta agree, once you're able to say yes or no, that's the start. From my point, that's the start of being a man. Because sometimes you can also make stupid decisions. But that's the start of being a man. So I fully agree with that. And I think, you know what? That's going to be one of the shorts. That's going to be one of the short sessions from this video. Yeah, man, you're sweating, so I'm not going to keep you here that long. You know what? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. If it's your first time watching this, please do subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, please make sure to subscribe, because the analytics tells me that you guys watch, but then you guys don't subscribe. So please, if you're a returning viewer, please do subscribe, watch, share, comment, and help me reach other men out there. In today's society, guys, in today's time, men are becoming soft. Society is making men soft. This is my point of view, and I'm allowing other men to come on here and also share their points of view, whether they agree or disagree with me. It's a conversation. It's raw conversations. It's not. Never mind, because now I'm allowing the comments get to me. I want to address every single comment out there, but this is not the platform for that. So, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay raw, and I'll see you on the next one.
Be a man.
He said it. Anything else?
Another thing, just to encourage the viewers, to encourage those that are watching, become a man. Don't let yourself down. Stand as a man. Don't be shaken by anything that will want to bring you down. A man is always the head, and the man will always remain the head. That's also biblical, and it's also it's happening also in reality. A man is always the head. Thank you.